discuss about electrolyte imbalance. In this video, you can see the blood electrolytes, cellular electrolytes, and their deficiency and their over accumulation of these electrolytes. Clear video. Try to watch this video up to last and subscribe our channel PPK Pharma Tutorial. This topic comes under Pathophysiology, B Pharmacy, second semester, Unit 1, R19 syllabus. Now we'll go into the video. First, electrolyte imbalance. In this, we need to know what are electrolytes. Electrolytes are the substances that becomes ions in the solutions that have positive or negative electric charges. So we can see electrolytes contain positive and negative charges. These are ions in the solutions. Okay, what is the main function of electrolytes? Electrolytes maintain voltage across the cell membrane, and cell uses electrolyte to conduct electric impulse like nerve impulse, muscle contractions. So electrolytes maintain voltage across cell membrane and also impulses like nerve impulse and muscle contraction. Now we will see functions. Electrolytes solute for maintenance for acid-base equilibrium and maintain proper volume of body fluids, and also concentration of electrolytes determine their physical function. Next, types of electrolytes. As I said before, there are two types of electrolytes. There are intracellular electrolytes and extracellular electrolytes. That means blood electrolytes. Inside the intracellular electrolytes, it comes under potassium, phosphate and magnesium. And extracellular electrolytes, sodium, calcium and bicarbonate. As I said, intracellular electrolytes, potassium, phosphate and magnesium. Now we will see what the role in the intracellular electrolytes. First, phosphate. Here we can see first of phosphate. Here phosphorus is surrounded by 4 oxygen atoms. Okay, the main function is it works closely on calcium to strengthen the bones and teeth. Means it works deposit helps in the calcium formation and strengthening of bones and teeth, and also phosphate is used in energy production for growth and repair of cells, and also major building blocks for cell membrane and DNA. So phosphate is useful for building of cell membrane, DNA, energy production, and also strengthening of bones and teeth. Now we will see the potassium. It is denoted with K plus. Potassium is a major electrolyte inside the cell. It regulates heartbeat, muscle function, and other half of the electrolyte pumps that keeps electrolytes in balance, allow conductivity between the cells, and makes potassium critical part of neurotransmission. So it regulates heartbeat, muscle function, and also neurotransmission. Now we will see the magnesium. It is denoted with Mg plus 2. Maintain normal nerve and muscle functions, boost the immune system, maintain stable heartbeat and stabilize blood sugar level, and also promote the formation of bones and teeth. Here is the sum of the electrolytes and their normal values in blood. Normal blood values, that is sodium 13.3 to 45 mEq per liter, and also potassium 3.5 to 5.0, calcium 9.9 to 11, magnesium 1.8 to 3, and chloride is 96 to 106, and also potassium is 3 to 4.5. This is the normal blood values of different electrolytes. Now we will see the blood electrolytes or extracellular electrolytes. They are bicarbonate, sodium and calcium. What are the function of bicarbonate is HCO3, denoted with HCO3, and it regulates the lungs in the body and combine with H2O to convert into carbonic acid. Okay, H2CO3 is converted into carbonic acid. The key compound for pH buffer. It acts as pH buffer, and also is one of the biggest reason our body can maintain homeostasis and function properly. Means, so we can say bicarbonate regulates the lungs and produce carbonic acid, and it acts as pH buffer, and also it helps in the homeostasis mechanism and proper function of body. Now we'll see sodium. It controls total amount of H2O in the body and regulates blood volume, maintain muscle and nerve function. Sodium controls the water level in body, blood volume regulation, and also muscle and nerve functions. These are the functions of sodium. Next, calcium. Calcium is known as Ca plus 2. As we know, calcium is useful for the formation of teeth and bones, and also critical transmission of nerve impulse, blood clotting, and muscle contraction. These functions nobody knows. Blood clotting also helps. Calcium helps, and also muscle contraction. Calcium will be useful, and also critical transmission of nerve impulse. Calcium also useful. Now we will go into the exact topic, that is electrolyte imbalance. First we will see sodium. If over secretion of sodium leads to or over accumulation leads to hypernatremia, that is increased level of sodium, and also decreased level of sodium level is known as hyponatremia. Now we will see the conditions for hypernatremia. It's a condition when occurs when sodium level is more than 145 in plasma. Then it is known as hypernatremia. It occurs due to decrease in the water level and increase in the sodium metal or electrolyte. The H2O moves from intracellular fluid to extracellular fluid, which results in the cell dehydration. Hypernatremia also due to the loss of pure water and over secretion of aldosterone. And long-term sweating, respiratory infections, diabetes like polyuria, respiratory infections, H2O vapor loss, insufficient intake of H2O2 leads to hypodyspnea. These are the conditions of occurs due results in the formation of hypernatremia. Now we will see hyponatremia, that is decreased level of sodium metal or electrolyte. Overall decrease in the sodium in extracellular fluid leads to hyponatremia. It is occupational and dilutional. According to occupational, sodium loss due to diuretics, chronic vomiting and diarrhea, and also decreased in aldosterone, and also decreased level sodium intake. And dilution occurs renal dysfunction and intake of hypotonic fluids, excessive sweating, thirst, which results in the intake of excessive pure water, oliguric renal failure, excess CHF, and cirrhosis leads to impaired renal functions of H2O. These all conditions results the hyponatremia, that is decreased level of sodium electrolyte. Now we will see the effects occurs due to hypernatremia. Fluid shift out of cell and produce weakness, blood pressure will be increased, dry tongue and mucous membrane. And also effects of hyponatremia, that is a gastrointestinal effect, diarrhea, muscle will be weakness and fatigue, and also neurological symptoms like headache, confusion, seizures and coma. These all effects occurs due to hyponatremia. Next, electrolyte is calcium. It is regulated by PTH. Parathyroid hormone regulates the calcium, and also it is regulated by vitamin D. Vitamin D also regulates calcium by absorption of calcium. Okay. Next, two conditions, that is hypocalcemia, decreased level of calcium, and hypercalcemia, increased level of calcium. Hypocalcium is said when calcium level is less than 4.5. Okay, whereas here calcium level will be more than 11, then it is known as hypercalcemia. What are the causes of hypocalcemia? Surgical induced hypothyroidism leads to hypocalcemia, renal failure, vitamin D deficiency, inadequate exposure to UV light, and also acute pancreatitis and hyperphosphatemia. And effects of hypocalcemia is permeability and excitability of neuron membrane, weak heart contractions, spontaneous stimulations of skeletal muscles. These are the effects of hypocalcemia. Next, hypercalcemia causes is endocrine renal dysfunction, nutritional and granular disease, inherited disorder, uncontrolled release of calcium from bones. Effects like depressional neuromuscular activity, which results in the increase in the strength of cardiac muscle contraction, interference with ADH production. Next electrolyte is magnesium. It's also two, but is hypocondition and also hypercondition. Hypocondition is set when the its level is less than 1.8 in plasma, then it is hypo. When their level is more than 2 in plasma, then it is known as hypermagnesemia. Causes is starvation, ulcerative colitis, hypercalcemia, cancer, chemotherapy, pancreatics. These are the causes of hypomagnesemia. And as a cause of hypermagnesemia is renal failure, ECG, excessive use of magnesium containing antacids leads to hypermagnesemia. Hypomagnesemia results slow ATP production, which results in the sodium, potassium and ATPase and loss of intracellular potassium, which results in cardiac arrhythmia, neuromuscular hyperirritability and also hypermagnesemia affects due to over usage of magnesium leads to cardiac arrest, hypertension, depressed respiration. The next electrolyte is potassium. One is hypokalemia and hyperkalemia. Hyperkalemia is set when the serum level is potassium is less than 3.5. It occurs due to beware of diabetic like insulin K plus into cell and also ketoacidosis H plus replaces with K plus leads due to loss of lost urine. Causes intake of potassium decreases and K plus loss is more. Chronic diuretics, trauma stress and increased aldosterone causes hypokalemia. Effects dysrhythmias, cardiac arrest, neuromuscular disorder and hyperkalemia is due to renal failure, aldosterone deficiency, K plus leakage from intracellular fluid to extracellular fluid and also prolonged acidosis leads to hyperkalemia. Effects cardiac dysrhythmias, respiratory arrest, muscular weakness. This is the overall electrolytes in blood electrolytes, intracellular electrolytes and their deficiency and also hypoconditions, hyperconditions we have seen it. If you like this video, please click on like button, subscribe our channel PPK Pharma Tutorial and share this video to your friends. Thank you to all. Bharat Mata ki Jai.